No, okay, Chukwueze and Victor Osimhen. I'm thinking there's a mistake here. There's Semi Ajayi somewhere here.
I
think what if...
okay.
Well, I think what we have from the list you mentioned earlier, we have Stanley Nwabali, we have Trustekong, we have Calvin Bassey, Brato Sai Samuel.
That's the replacement.
That's the replacement. Exactly. Semi out. And then, of course, Ola, with Alex Iwobi, Wilfred Ndidi, Lukman, Ademola Lukman, Chukwueze, Victor Osimhen, and of course Moses.
Is this a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I think, I'm not sure what formation you will call it, but again, like I said, very offensive. They could probably be switching to a 4-4-2 formation at this stage, which is allowed, and then, of course, change to 4-3-3 formation.
It looks like the two pivotal midfielders in the middle are
Ndidi and then Iwobi. And then, of course, they can also add Moses Simon to join them.
That mix.
So it can
or
become
it could be Moses Simon playing on the left side of midfield, Chukwueze on the right side of midfield, and Ndidi, Osimhen and...
Lukman as the front two.
Definitely he wants Lukman and Osimhen somewhere up there. That's what he has done.
Tony, what do you think?
It could, I agree with you. It could be an adaptation of a 4-4-2, which is seeing Osimhen and Lukman as the front two, Ndidi, Iwobi, Simon, Chukwueze as the middle four, and it could be a 4-3-3. It could be adapted to a 4-3-3 where Chukwueze, Simon, and Lukman are pushing. Because I expect that Rwanda will be very defensive today.
Yeah.
I
think it's been corrected.
It's corrected now. It's Samuel now. So the adaptation, it can be 4-2-3-1. The adaptations can.
So I also think it can be a 4-2-3-1-1.
You can come up with.
So because obviously he wants Lukman to be behind.
The bottom line is what we're talking about here. It's likely going to be very fluid.
Because
there's a lot of fluidity.
It likes a team that runs, that moves,
and they can come at different angles.
So they can come in different ways. But one thing I think we should expect from this game is that Rwanda, Abdel Marouche, the coach of Rwanda,
we talk about him too.
Is a defensive coach.
He
likes safety first. So he could probably put a lot of people behind the ball, and then the prerogative will be on the Eagles to try to break down.
You just mentioned about interesting stuff. Both teams are coming with new coaches.
Yeah.
Nigeria with Eric Chell, Rwanda with Adel Amrouche, who just picked up.
So our job will be break down the Rwandan team. But don't forget that the last time we played
this is Adel Amrouche.
Very experienced Belgian, Algerian, most of his life was in Belgium and Algeria.
In his 8th job as national team coach,
so he's got experience in Africa as well.
African football. He's Algerian, Belgian, so
he's gone through
Algerian
Tanzania, a lot of African
Kenya.
countries. Kenya.
He led Kenya here in 2014 during the World Cup qualifiers when we drew 1-1 with Kenya in Calabar and then beat them 1-0 in Kenya. He was a coach of Kenya for that game.
So
he's a self-confessed fan of the Super Eagles. But unfortunately today, he's up against us. So that's going to be interesting to see. How we will break down
defensive formation. They will come and defend.
How we will break them down is now. But we're talking about Eric Schell and his team being youthful, being full of running. They also showed a bit of naivety, in their game,
especially against Cote d'Ivoire.
Against Cote d'Ivoire, and even in the group game there was a group game that they drew 2-2, and they considered the penalty. The opponents lost the penalty. If that penalty had gone in, the momentum would have changed. So there's a need for us to also have that balance. While we are pushing out, trying to get the goals, we also have to be careful not to be hit with the sucker punch. I
always have this feeling because this team that we have seen is only one defensive midfielder I can see in the lineup, and that's Ndidi.
Yes.
I don't see Iwobi as the defensive man.
Yeah.
I don't see any of the
Simon.
There's always a possibility of opening yourself up for the counter-attack when you are top-heavy. I don't know what you think about that.
Of course, every formation also has its own disadvantage. For example, if you are attacking a lot, you are prone to being attacked when you lose the ball. In transition, the counter-attack, if they're fast, then they can run through your defense. Again, Rwandan team will be defensive. That's very obvious. They will not come and attack Nigeria because they know that they need to get a good result. And a good result to them might just be 1 point. But we need to get 3 points.
But we can't take them for granted that they won't attack.
I was going to,
They are coming on the strength of beating Nigeria. In that game, they were on the front foot.
The last time we played in Uyo, they beat us.
They were on the front foot.
And we've not been able to beat them in this stadium for quite a while. So
and you remember
there's a lot of confidence. And then we also have to consider the fact that They are on 7 points.
If
now.
they win this game today,
the leadership, I mean, they probably feel that they're leading the group right now, and they will develop more confidence.
They believe,
so they want to come and beat you again.
On the strength of what they did in Uyo, they played on the front foot in that game. If you remember, they were going for tackles, they were chasing
We
down.
have to take a break, Tony. We have to take a break. We'll talk about that more after this.
Are you ready to launch?
100%. Launch! I think I put the wrong coordinates.
This season, the odds might just be in your favor. With a boom, everything changes. If only you can catch it.
People all over Nigeria are catching the boom. It seems to be making millionaires with supercharged odds. And we understand all of this to be caused by Bet Nigeria.
Let everyone catch the boom.
Nigeria, a country of over 220 million people, is united by sports. It inspires us and helps us build champions on and off the field. From the streets to the global stage, Nigeria's talent shines bright. And behind every victory is the unwavering support for our athletes, coaches, and the entire sport ecosystem. Under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the National Sports Commission, in its bid to ensure the growth and development of our sports economy, has helped build over 4,000 projects across different events, including supporting the Nigeria Football Federation and the Super Eagles qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the Presidential Support Group. The Presidential Support Group says a special thank you to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his commitment to sports development, empowering the next generation of Nigerian champions. The National Sports Commission, creating a sports economy.
Yeah, welcome back. So we're counting now. We're about 20 minutes to kick off of Nigeria against Rwanda in Kigali. A must-win game, it has been said, for the Super Eagles. Simply put, a draw is just not good enough. It's got to be 3 points or nothing today. Let's take a look at the head-to-head for the two teams. Rwanda has had not a bad record against us in the past. Of course, Super Eagles 2 wins, 3 draws. FIFA ranking, a huge chasm between both teams. 5th in Africa, 35th in Africa, 124th in the world, 44th in the world. That's about 80 places. We've been to 6 World Cup appearances. We were at the last World Cup, they've not been there. So on paper, should be a walk in the park. But you and I know football is not that simple. All these teams, I saw Eswatini holding Cameroon last night.
Goalless draw, yes.
All these teams you look at, they are very, very developed now. They're very, very good. And again, we saw from the last AFCON how good these so-called smaller teams have become, too.
Yeah, the smaller teams, you know, have a lot of players as well playing abroad that they can call on. So they understand the basics of being organized as a team. And then, you know, African football is such that, okay, these are the results
from the past.
I don't like that first one. That was
the last one.
That was the last one you had in Uyo.
In Uyo,
yeah.
2-1.
And I mean, and I believe that resulted in the NFF deciding that look, Osime Guavon has done his bit, so let's get someone else to do the job. That Rwanda 0-0 that we played, they were very lucky in that game. Their goalkeeper made saves after saves after saves.
And Adama Lukman also scored a goal that
the referee chopped off. So we are hoping that this time we'll get the scoring range, and then the goalkeeper will probably not be in the same form that it was on that day. So, you know, we're talking about the issue you raised before we started talking about this one, is that, you know, we have to start to get the wins. That's very key. Not take anything for granted, and then, you know, hope that we take our chances when they come, because this game is one that you don't underrate or assume that they will not attack you. they have high altitude, they have young players, they believe they can run at you and do a lot of things. So we have to be organized and hope that we can take our chances.
Okay, let's listen to Super Eagles coach Eric Chell at the press conference last night talking about this game. Let's hear what he had to say.
I just want to be with my guys every day. I just want to live with my guys. I just want that my guys are focus on this game, only this game now, and after that we will see the other game. But they're training hard. They want that the Nigerian people are proud of them, of us. So actually I'm focused about my guys, my players. So I need to be with them. I just want to win the game because the country why this win. So we need to go to the training. We need to go to the pitch now to make a last training session, and tomorrow we want to play this game.
My pick out from there, I just want to win the game. That's
anyway.
Yeah.
You remember what he was just saying? He wants to be with his players.
Yeah.
You know, whatever a coach, as a former player, you know, this kind of games, you need to be yourself. You need to be able to raise your level up.
And it's also a fantastic opportunity for him as an individual.
Yes.
For his personal CV.
Yes.
Nigeria is a big team. You know, he has what you call a limited CV, so to speak. But if he does well here, hey, who knows?
I think he will. From his comments, you know, wants to be with his players, wants to be with the team. He must be psychologically getting the players ready.
So the players are actually getting ready. These are live pictures now from the Amahoro Stadium in Kigali, Rwanda. That's Basi. That's Chukwueze. Those two are starters. Chukwueze, a bit inconsistent with the national team, but on his day, you know what he can produce. Especially the opening goal in the last game against Rwanda.
Absolutely. I mean, you know what he did? He came in. Because when you are playing against a team that is packed at the back, you need players
somebody to
who can run and take players on so that I can create space for the others. And you remember
something that they also like, you know, Chukwueze probably when Osimhen starts as well. You always see their combination. There's an understanding between two of them. So that will also matter a lot.
And this man looks to be a man on a mission. Especially first to arrive in camp. He's not played in these qualifiers. He's not been to the World Cup.
And
he's a former African footballer of the year.
Camp opened,
he has a lot to prove.
On a popular podcast, he was talking about the attitude and the interactions he's had with the coach. What the coach expects the players to do. Yes. He says he wants a team where everybody will be running, you'll be attacking together, you'll be defending
Alex
together.
Iwobi as well. Fantastic season with Fulham so far.
Yeah. And he's also got a good bench. So whoever is not playing well, you don't take too much time. You can substitute players.
You're not playing according to the instructions.
So let me ask the question. How have we found ourselves in this sport?
It's complacency with a lack of discipline. And the games are just going. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3 is unbelievable. Game 4,
4 matches.
And this is match day 5.
And we didn't win any of the matches.
We have not had a win. That's the poor, terrible form to take into
a shaky start.
We are lucky that you don't have a team that is like did what Nigeria did in 2019, where
like
you won
your
first 4 games
and then win all your games.
Tunisia,
yes.
Win all your games. This is match day 4. If you've won all your games,
12 points.
12 points. And you are on 3 points, it's over.
Game over.
I agree with you.
The race is over.
So you're saying we're lucky that the teams in this group have
nobody has
run
lucky.
With it.
Very lucky. So it's like giving us a lifeline. But
6 more games to go.
But those lifelines don't last forever. So
no, they won't. You have to depend on yourself.
At some point,
on what you want to do. Yeah. Like to this match, I'll put the coach away and then want to go there and show.
I was going to come to that. As a former footballer, there are times we know about coaches and tactics and team selections. That's a given.
Right.
The coach made it dictate. But sometimes when it's not working, or sometimes when a game is getting out of hand, don't we have a situation where the players say, oh boy, we have to win this game. We just have to pull ourselves together. Irrespective of what the coach has said, we have to go out there and win. Why? Does that happen in a football team?
It does, and that's the leadership Tony mentioned earlier. You know, when you have a good leader at the back and in the front of the team, that's what you get. Because somebody must be pushing somebody. Somebody will be telling somebody, this is not what we want to do. We must go get these goals. Come on, let's go. And that is what I think the players will bring onto the field today. You have to push yourself. You have to raise your game up. You will leave the coach aside and then talk to each other. So if Ekong is doing that, or Osimhen is doing that up front, I don't think we'll have any issues.
Indeed, in the middle.
Indeed, in the middle again. You know, like I call him the conductor. You must conduct. You must take the ball. And you must pass the ball to the other people.
What should we fear most about this Rwandan team, Toyin?
Their youthfulness. We saw that in Uyo. They are very youthful. They are full of running. In Uyo, I was surprised that they were the ones taking the game to the Eagles. They were on the front foot.
So counter-attack, you mean?
So they are very, and they were going for the challenges. They were going for the tackles. So they are playing at home. Their fans will be behind them, like the 12th player. So it's for us to get that balance. I want us to have that balance. Yes, we are pushing. We want to get the goals. I hope the goals come early. But at the same time, be balanced. Be careful. Don't be naive. I'm not, as we said earlier on, I'm not particular about the Super Eagles playing like Barcelona or Man City.
No, we don't want that.
Play ugly today and win.
We don't even want that anyway. What we want is the 3 points.
Play ugly and win. It's okay with me.
Anyhow you get those 3 points today is very important because this will have a significant, ramifications around football in Nigeria.
Style
somebody told me that this game is probably the most important game Super Eagles will have played in the last 2 years.
It has
Reason
to be.
being that this determines what happens in the rest of the campaign.
It does.
A loss of points today, the chances are it could be calamitous.
It has a significant
a win
implication.
today,
seriously.
The mood changes.
The mood changes.
And Rwanda, after this game, they are playing at home again.
At home again.
That's another 3 points.
So
if they can
we
get
have to
by
slow them down. Take these 3 points off them because they are playing their next game at home.
So
and
we'll clip their wings today, hopefully.
Yes.
And then, see how we can then take off from there.
Take it up from there.
All right, so match day, Group C, match day 5, we've seen Zimbabwe against Rwanda, Benin 2-2. Benin threw away a 2-goal lead there. Do I say thank God?
Yes, it is.
Rwanda against Nigeria. South Africa against Lesotho. We'll also be monitoring that game is side by side with the Nigerian team. I would expect South Africa to win that as a whole. But hey, like we always say, nothing is given in African football.
I think Lesotho is closer to South Africa, so
they're used to each other. They play each other so much, the COSAFA things and all
some of
that.
the Lesotho players play in the South African league, so they know themselves quite well. Lesotho, Namibia, Zimbabwe, they are all in the same region.
Quite interesting matchup. Quite interesting matchup. We'll see. At the end of the day, once we can take care of ours,
that's
whatever happens elsewhere,
the most important thing.
We'll not be bothered ourselves. We'll not be bothered.
Yeah,
that's
Who will be key to Super Eagles' victory today, Toyin, you think?
Ekong and Osimhen. Ekong and Osimhen. Those two guys have not played any World Cup qualifying game, and partly the reason why we're where we are because there's no leadership.
I also think Lukman will want to show.
Okay, so this is the group standings right now.
Yes.
Benin have played 5 games. They are top on 8 points. Rwanda next on 7. South Africa are also playing now on 7 points. Lesotho have moved on 4 points, 5 points, sorry. Zimbabwe has moved to 3 points after last night's draw. So it's Nigeria on 3, still in the same position. So Benin have played their round 5 games, and they're top. Let's assume South Africa wins, they go to 10.
Yeah.
Let's hope Super Eagles win, they go to 6.
Yeah.
Benin plays South Africa next. None of them can take 3 points from that game. So it just underlines that this is a must-win game.
Absolutely.
Again, the way it's structured right now.
Absolutely. That game should, our best, what will pay us is for the 2 teams to just play out the draw, slow themselves down. I mean, there's the popular...
If Republic of Benin wins, they'll go to 11 points.
Yes.
South Africa remain on 10. We are probably, hopefully, on 9.
Yeah. So on the lighter side, there was an administrator when we were chasing the World Cup ticket in 2010 who said something. He says, if you are moving and your opponents are moving, then you are not moving. So we have to find a way to be moving and then we are slowing them down.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so these are matches to be played today across the African continent on these qualifiers. Botswana lost to Algeria already. Equatorial Guinea 2-0 South Tome, Rwanda, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Djibouti, DR Congo, South Sudan, and of course, we told you South Africa play Lesotho at the same time as Super Eagles match. Niger, Morocco, Ghana, Chad, Burundi, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Somalia, Ethiopia, Egypt, games all across the continent. We have to go now. I'll take a break. I'll take you straight to the Amahoro Stadium in Kigali, Rwanda for the key game. Rwanda against Nigeria for a place at the 2026 World Cup. We'll be back at halftime.
Nigeria, a country of over 220 million people, is united by sports. It inspires us and helps us build champions on and off the field. From the streets to the global stage, Nigeria's talent shines bright. And behind every victory is the unwavering support for our athletes, coaches, and the entire sport ecosystem. Under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the National Sports Commission, in its bid to ensure the growth and development of our sports economy, has helped build over 4,000 projects across different events, including supporting the Nigeria Football Federation and the Super Eagles qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the Presidential Support Group. The Presidential Support Group says a special thank you to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his commitment to sports development, empowering the next generation of Nigerian champions. The National Sports Commission, creating a sports economy.
Are you ready to launch? 100%. Launch! I think I put the wrong coordinates.
This season, the odds might just be in your favor. With a boom, everything changes. If only you can catch it.
People all over Nigeria are catching the boom. It seems to be making millionaires with supercharged odds, and we understand all of this to be caused by Bet Nigeria.
Let everyone catch the boom.
Are you ready to launch? 100%. Launch! I think I put the wrong coordinates.
This season, the odds might just be in your favor. With a boom, everything changes. If only you can catch it.
People all over Nigeria are catching the boom. It seems to be making millionaires with supercharged odds, and we understand all of this to be caused by Bet Nigeria.
Let everyone catch the boom.
This match between Rwanda and the Super Eagles of Nigeria is brought to you by NMPC, making sustainable energy available for all.
Statistical, Nigerian captain.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Nigeria.
Will, along with his teammates, now observe the Nigerian national anthem. Round of applause, but let's wait to hear this for the home team's national anthem. Sung out with pride and passion, both on and off the pitch. Clear what it means to both sets of players. Very important 90 minutes of football for the two squads. Nigeria having underperformed thus far. Eric Shell appointed 7 months after their setback against Benin. Received mixed reactions, aiming to win over the skeptics. Adel Amrouche also looking to strike the right chords here. And this, the 11 he's chosen to do so in his very first match, his first starting lineup. It is a fairly defensive one. A back four, 3 defensive-minded midfielders in Mugisha, Bizimana, Zahabo, Kwizera and Goulet. Also not exactly attacking-minded midfielders. Innocent Achuti could be a lonely figure at times up top. Bizimana there with his fellow captain, Statistical. And your referee this afternoon, Jalal Jayed. Moroccan, it is an all-Moroccan officiating team. Jayed turns 38 on Sunday. And here the 11 chosen by Eric Shell. Stanley Nwabali, as ever, between the sticks for Nigeria. Aina, Statistical, Bassi and Osai Samuel. In front of him, Iwobi and Ndidi in the center of the park, with a formidable attacking four of Chukwueze, Lookman, Simon and Victor Osimhen. An almost embarrassment of riches in attack for Nigeria. They haven't been finding the net often enough in this qualifying campaign. And they turn over a new leaf here in 2025. With a boost for their confidence, having topped their AFCON qualifying group. There is Fiacre Ntwari, the man looking to stop them doing so. And his teammates in the final team talk in the seconds before we get underway. Round of applause in appreciation of the adoring home fans. They respond in kind. The referee's trying to move things along as the Nigerians hold their own final team talk. We are now just about ready to go. So the referee blows the whistle, and away we go in Kigali. Home side gets us underway. Rwanda taking on Nigeria in Group C on match day 5 of CAF qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Rwanda in their traditional yellow, blue and green. Immediate first wave of noise as Victor Osimhen, the masked marauder today, sent to the turf inside 30 seconds. Rwanda in their traditional colours, Nigeria in their away strip, all white, a touch of green trim. Bright in sunshine yellow. Who will the sun be shining down upon over the next couple of hours? Unfortunate slip for Osimhen, but not one that seems to have done him any permanent damage. Was holding his shoulder there, but looks to be fine to continue. Adel Amrouche watching on as we get back underway. 55-year-old Algerian former midfielder, spent a large part of his playing and coaching career in Belgium. Also holds a Belgian passport. And in the last 15 years, managed almost exclusively African clubs and nations. Burundi, Kenya, USM Alger, Libya, MC Alger, crosstown rivals of Osma, Botswana, and the only exception, Yemen, before returning to Africa with Tanzania. Took over and guided Tanzania to the AFCON finals. Now with a new challenge here in Rwanda. Fatina Ombarenga, your rangy right back, taller than your average fullback. .85 meters tall, putting it to good use there with a header. It's quickly back with Nigeria. Now look to attack down the right wing. Interesting to see how they set up. Moses Simon appears to be in the number 10 role behind Osimhen. Generally plays off the left for his club side Nantes in Liga. Eric Schell, a man who knows French football very well. Ivorian, born in the Côte d'Ivoire, but made 5 appearances for the Mali national side. Holds a French passport, spent his whole playing career in France for Lens, Valenciennes, amongst others. Free kick into the box is missed at the back stick by Calvin Bassey. Centre-back making his 30th appearance for his country. He's never scored at international level. Has scored 1 this season for Fulham though. Cottagers putting together an impressive campaign in the English Premier League. Currently sat 8th in the table, just 3 places and 3 points behind the reigning champions, Manchester City. One of his teammates in London, Alex Iwobi, also in the starting 11 here. Iwobi has had his most prolific season. 7 goals, 4 assists so far for Fulham in the Premier League. There is Bassey again. Ola Aina being used as a makeshift left back. Prefer to be on the opposite side of the defence. Can do a job on the right or left. There's Brighter Say Samuel on the right side of the defence. Aina through to Osimhen. It's a slip which could allow a chance for Lookman. He's crowded out and ultimately gives away a free kick as Jose Quizera bundled over. Not a lot Lookman did wrong in truth, but certainly didn't win the ball. Well, 5 minutes in, and the game falling into the pattern that most would have expected. Rwanda largely sitting back, happy to let Super Eagles have the ball in and around their own half. Low block as soon as they venture beyond the halfway line. Nigeria might be a long way back, 4 points behind them in Group C, and we're also 4 places behind coming into match day 5, but even away from home, they are the bookies' favourites. They are ranked 80 places higher than their hosts today. Currently 44th in the world. highest ever was 5th back in the 90s, 1994. Well, they'd fallen to their lowest ever of 82nd just 5 years later in 99. Even the current ranking of 44, 20 better than Rwanda have ever managed. However, it's been a very different tale in this qualifying campaign and in their recent meetings. Two sides have clashed on 7 occasions in the past. Nigeria victorious twice, Rwanda with 1 win, 4 games ending in a draw. They met twice late last year during that AFCON qualification. It was a goalless draw in September and a 2-1 win for Rwanda in November. Mutsinzi and Nshuti turning the game around in the space of 3 minutes well into the second half, after Chukwueze had given Nigeria the lead on the hour mark. They tend to be cagey affairs, meetings between these two. 6 of the 7 meetings have produced less than 3 goals. However, Rwanda have been scoring a decent amount in their recent fixtures. Largely on the back foot here. Now Nigeria with a throw well into the Rwandan third. Four of Rwanda's last 5 games have produced 3 or more goals. Just to back up that stat a minute ago, whilst Nigeria's 4 games in the World Cup qualifiers have all witnessed goals at both ends. So perhaps we will get a decent amount of action here in Kigali this afternoon. Moses Simon, first to the ball, and then bundled over. Wins the free kick in a pretty dangerous position. It was the captain, Bizimana, the guilty party. He will now have to shore up his defence. First real test for the Rwandan backline with 10 minutes on the clock. Jalal Jayed just laying down the law. A few of the one-on-ones in the box. Lookman whips it into a good area, and it's fired home by who else but Victor Osimhen. He doesn't miss those. Nigeria have the lead in just over 10 minutes. A 24th goal for his country for Victor Osimhen in his 39th appearance. He cannot stop scoring for the Super Eagles. He doesn't tend to miss wherever he goes. Beautiful delivery from Lookman. Crucially missed by the Rwandan defence. I think it was Angie Mutsinzi who leapt but didn't quite get there. And Osimhen gambled at the back post, and his luck paid off. Slotting it home on the volley, nothing Ntwari could do. 10 minutes into his first appearance of this World Cup qualifying campaign, Victor Osimhen picks up his first goal. Now, what can you say about Nigeria's number 9? Currently on loan at Galatasaray. The Turkish side prepared to do pretty much anything to keep him, and scored 20 goals in 22 in the Turkish Super League in his single campaign in Southeast Europe. Now looking to turn provider, and I tell you what, that was a little too close for comfort for Matsinzi. Came off his left shin, flew over the bar. Osimhen showing another part of his game. Out on the right wing, very nearly picking up an assist from a Rwanda centre-back. Matsinzi scored his first international goal against Nigeria during that AFCON qualification campaign. The equaliser in the 2-1 win. That is still his only international goal. Very nearly added a second, but at the wrong end there. Lookman to take again. He produced a delivery. There's as much quality as the one that led to the opener. Long line of players here queuing up. It's looped in and onto the head of Troost-Ekong by Lookman. Nigerian captain couldn't keep his header down. Does score a decent number for a centre-back, 7 for his country in his 75 previous appearances. Now heading towards the century, past the 3-quarter mark. Couple as well this season for Al Khaloud, playing his football, his club football in Saudi Arabia now. But like Osimhen, this is his first appearance in the World Cup qualifiers. A spell out through injury will make such a difference. Now he's returned. Both he and Osimhen could turn this campaign around. Aina nicking in, winning the free kick. Not dissimilar position to the one that led to Osimhen's opener. Caught by Samuel Goulet. His first start of the qualifiers, a couple of substitute appearances. It's in again by Lookman. It was onto the head of his captain once again. This one closer than the last from the corner. Just drifted wide of the far post. Rwanda are surviving here. A quarter of an hour gone. Plenty of space for Troost-Ekong. Found a gap in that sea of yellow shirts. Couldn't capitalize. Now, brief pause in play. Players to take on some liquids, some hydration. Rwandan fans still flying the flag proudly, young and old. But that man is almost impossible to stop. Saying about Osimhen and Galatasaray being prepared to do anything to keep him. Quickly won over fans, established himself as a key part of the team on loan from Naples, from Napoli. To secure his permanent transfer, the Turkish club will have to reach an agreement with the Serie A side, which could be well towards 75 million asking price last summer. Faced with that situation, a member of the management, Rasim Zaimoglu, came up with a innovative initiative, an effective crowdfunding campaign. He said if every supporter gave €1, we would have 35 million. With €2, we'd have 70. We'll see if anything like that comes to pass. Seems unlikely, but shows the clubs and the fans' enthusiasm for keeping their star striker. And Osimhen showing why yet again, with a goal 10 minutes into this match. Plenty of interest for the centre forward. Barcelona, Arsenal, Manchester United, Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, I should say, all reportedly keeping a keen eye on Osimhen. He remains focused on lifting the Turkish title. Said the club is a big family. From the moment he arrived, he felt the fans' love. Also, former teammate from Napoli in Dries Mertens to help him in his integration. Nigeria trying to find a way through. Fairly crowded midfield. Rwanda trying to find their way out of their own half. There's Alex Iwobi making his 83rd appearance for his country. As Ntwari very nearly the ball nicked off his toes by Moses Simon. It was in fact Ademola Lookman, who's now coming to the more central position. Those two look set to interchange. Keep the right side of the Rwandan defence guessing. Fitina Omborenga be up against it over the course of this match. Plenty of talent on the bench as well. Victor Boniface, Leverkusen striker, wouldn't be surprised to see him feature at some point. It's a slip there from Lookman at a crucial moment to have got him behind. Bono Mugisha was there, but without the slip, might have struggled to catch the Atalanta forward. Ola Aina gearing up for the long throw. It is long, almost to the penalty spot. Rwanda clear, but only as far as Say Samuel. who forces his way into the area. Now Chukwueze, 2 for company. Say Samuel with the cross, which is comfortable in the end for Ntwari. Adel Amrouche animated on the sidelines. Understandably so. Not sure exactly what the plan was beyond trying to keep Nigeria out as long as possible. They only managed 10 minutes. And now another decision goes against them, to the disbelief of Claude Nyamagabu. Another making his first start of this campaign. 3 previous appearances, but only 30 minutes or so across them. Eric Schell on his haunches. Impressive to still be able to do that after a long playing career. He's a centre-back in his playing days, retired in 2014. Started coaching very soon after in France in 2016, stayed there until 2022. He was appointed manager of Mali, his former national side as a player. Left in June last year. Briefly manager of MC Iran in Algeria before taking charge of the Super Eagles in January. As mentioned in the build-up, mixed reactions to his appointment. Abidjan-born Malian manager and international, looking to win over the skeptics here. It's been a perfect start. Nigeria are on the attack again here. Here's Simon. Brilliant save by Ntwari. Simon with his hands on his head. Knows that was a big chance. Well struck, just too close to the Kaiser Chiefs keeper. Nonetheless, impressive reactions. One back by Osimhen, showing it's another string to his bow. Simon, who's been involved in a lot of goals in Ligue 1 this season. Nearly hitting double figures for Nigeria. 9 goals in the past for the Super Eagles. This is 78th appearance. It's 8th on the all-time list for appearances. In between Iwobi above him and Tristekong just behind. Not quite broken into the top 10 for scorers yet. Osimhen now a clear second on 24. It was towards Osimhen again. Both he and Wilfred Ndidi going for that header, maybe getting in each other's way a touch. Off target from Osimhen. Looking for his second of the afternoon. And Ndidi looking for his first ever goal for Nigeria. Over 60 appearances. Nigeria, of course, missed out on the Qatar World Cup. They've never missed consecutive finals since their debut in the United States in 1994. Now aiming to return to a US World Cup. Of course, states sharing it with Canada and Mexico. This expanded World Cup, first time featuring 48 teams rather than 32. Which will likely open the door for several debutants. Rwanda could be one of them. Up to 10 African nations could feature. It's only 5 were present in Qatar, where Morocco made history, becoming the first African nation to reach the semi-finals. Will be at least 9 in Canada, the US and Mexico. Some of the runners-up in the 9 qualifying groups will get another chance. 4 best ranked second place sides will be drawn into a playoff, semi-final and a final in November 2025, determining which African country will advance to an intercontinental playoff. Say Samuel puts the ball in, only finds a man in yellow. Rwanda yet to really mount anything in the way of an attack. Could that change here? Brought down the right-hand side by Hakim Sahabo. Passes wayward though, ultimately. The roar of expectation in the stadium subsides. And now it's trepidation again. Simon into the middle. And again, it was a little too close to his own goal for comfort by a Rwandan centre-back, this time Thierry Manzi. Osimhen was lurking behind. Certainly couldn't let it go. Twari with a nervous glance to his right-hand post. It did go beyond it, but now another corner and an opportunity for Ademola Lookman to cause yet more trouble with another delicious delivery. This time it was too close to Ntwari. His punch is picked up on the edge. Now back with Lookman, trying to create space for a clever disguised low ball in. Ultimately ran through to the Rwanda keeper. Lookman looking dangerous again. 13 goals, 5 assists in Serie A this season. Just 23 appearances. To say he and Osimhen have been 2 of Africa's very best over the last couple of years. A consistent goal scorer in his time at Atalanta. Never really quite got going with his English teams, nor his German adventure with RB Leipzig. Just a 1 goal for Everton. Was born in Wandsworth, London, England. Rwanda now finally into the final third, forced to retreat into their own half. Omborenga gallops past Iwobi and then into Ndidi. Simon has it nicked away by Jihad Bizimana. Home support trying to act as the 12th man. Feels like they're up against 12 men here in Nigerian colours. They're on the attack again, the Super Eagles. This time Iwobi couldn't force it through. ask their way out from the back. High press of Nigeria. Still plenty of players forwards. They do find a way out. Far from a counter-attack, but just happy to have a bit more of the ball. Jorge Quizera over on the left-hand side. Waits for reinforcement. Once again, despite a bit more possession, Stanley Nwabali is yet to be tested in the Nigeria goal. Lookman back to Bassi. Potentially dangerous ball into the box. I was going to say it was dealt with. Dawdled on it in the end. Thierry Manzi, but survived a scare as Osimhen briefly nicked it away from him. Player down here for Rwanda. It is the captain, Jihad Bizimana. Medic's on to check him over. Scored the winning penalty against Benin in October during AFCON qualification. Bizimana, the third of his international career. It's an acrobatic attempt at a clearance, which seemingly is undoing here. I think no permanent damage done. Over half an hour of this match day 5 meeting already come and gone. Nigeria comfortably on top thus far. They've actually been better on the road than they have at home in recent times, unbeaten in their last 4 away games in all competitions. That is including rather a goalless draw with Ghana during the African Nations Championship in December. Largely different squad, of course, comprising solely players who play their football in Nigeria. There are 2 local players in this squad. Goalkeeper Kayode Bankole of Remo Stars and midfielder Papa Daniel Mustafa of Niger Tornadoes. Eric Shell looking to reward performances in the Nigerian League, the call up to the national team. The Super Eagles talent has come from all over the world. Its current 11 from about 7 different countries. Chukwueze and Lookman playing in Italy, AC Milan and Atalanta. Of course, Osimhen currently in Turkey, Simon in France, and Didi Iwobi, Aina and Bassi all in England. Statistical in Saudi Arabia, and Nwabali in South Africa with Chippa United. Come together though for these international breaks, very quickly gel and form a cohesive unit. This is more like the Nigeria we've expected in the previous 4 World Cup qualifiers. Can they, though, hang on to the lead this time, where they failed on match day 4? Goulet's ball proves too hot to handle for Omborenga. Rwanda, though, growing into this one now after that early blow. They rode out the storm. Nigeria looked the far more likely to score the game's second goal, and now in the latter stages of the first half are pushing on, looking for an equaliser and an early change. Samuel Goulet will make way for Gilbert Mugisha. Not sure if there was a knock. Seems to be moving okay, Goulet. Either way, a change deemed necessary by Adel Amrouche, one of his more experienced players in Mugisha. Enter the fray with 50 minutes or so of the game still to play. Could it prove immediately to be a super sub? It was. Mugisha, within seconds of entering the fray, who was the first to test the reflexes of Stanley Nwabali. A little space, was on target, comfortable enough for the Nigeria keeper, but finally Rwanda coming to life here late in the first half. They got to survive through, though, to half-time. Always a threat in attack, the Super Eagles. Better spell, but in a second, there could be a second if an opportunity is presented at the other end of the pitch. Lookman and Osimhen combining again. This time not quite to such a devastating effect. Five minutes to go in this first half. Still, Victor Osimhen's opener, the difference between the two sides. Manti with a long ball forwards, one which will bounce comfortably through to Nwabali. It's been impressing for Chippa United this season. 7 clean sheets in his 19 games. Save success rate of over 80%. Becoming the de facto #1 for the Nigerian national side. This cap, number 18. Maybe worked again here. Rwanda attacking down the left-hand side. Here's Kwizera. Iwobi forces him backwards and then forces Rwanda all the way back to Ntwari. Iwobi said he wants to emulate his uncle, JJ Okocha, by winning the Africa Cup of Nations. Came close, of course, at the most recent time of asking. Nigeria edged out by the Côte d'Ivoire in the final in Abidjan. Shot there of Paul Kagame. Roar of appreciation for the president of Rwanda. Will surely be enjoying his country's end to this first half. Rwanda making Nigeria work for their lead now. Three in the box waiting as Gisha turns this way and that. It's over the head though of Nchuti. Listens to that roar. The first Rwanda corner in the 44th minute. Nigeria flew out of the blocks in this one. But their host showing this is far from a done deal. And an equaliser here late in the first half would be a real blow for the Super Eagles if Rwanda can conjure one up. Forced to wait whilst again the referee sorts out a few of the squabbles in the area. Hakim Sahabo, a teenager, latest to have a word in his ear. Something of a mismatch with Ola Aina. It's off the gloves of Enwa Bali, but not all that convincingly away. Rwanda remain with the ball well in Nigeria territory. It's whipped in again. It was knocked down, then knocked away by Bassi, who was himself then knocked over. Innocent attempt to get to the ball, just a moment too late. Only caught a chunk of the man. Wano Mugisha is sent away. There'll be 3 minutes of additional time. Nigeria, the way things are going, will want them to come and go quite quickly. Clumsy at worst from Mugisha. Yeah. Tall defensive midfielder, not able to avoid Bassi. Omborenga at the back heel to the path of Kwizera. There'll be one more opportunity before the half-time whistle at either end. Harmless free kick forwards rather sums up Nigeria's end to this first half. The impression they are just trying to survive with their lead intact through to half-time. Reorganise. take on the advice of Eric Schell. Calmly done by Iwobi and Aina. Bassi back to his keeper. Picked up though by Nyomagabo. Magisha. There it is. Gilbert Magisha. Second Magisha now added to the Rwanda 11. But Osimhen nicks in, closes in on goal, dinks it over Ntwari, and Nigeria just like that have a second. They are lethal. He is lethal. Osimhen adds his and his country's second in the final minute of first half stoppage time. Nigeria have been looking like they were just trying to survive through to half-time with their lead intact. But Osimhen always lurking, nicked in. And from there was very little doubt about how it would end. Nigeria's number 9 scores his 25th goal for his country and puts the Super Eagles in a totally commanding position for the second half. A quick glance up, saw Ntwari rushing out. The presence of mind to lift it over the Kaiser Chiefs keeper. As we cut back to the action, it's Nigeria on the front foot again. Osimhen through to Lookman and wins a corner, and suddenly it's Rwanda trying to survive through to half time, but not with the lead. Instead, trying to stay within 2 of their visitors. Corner taken short. Back to Adamola Lookman. Zaina. Moses Simon. Lookman lets it run. And that will be the half-time whistle. Well, Osimhen, the difference between the two sides with a first half brace. 1 goal in the 11th minute. The next, well into first half stoppage time. Nigeria halfway to their first victory of this World Cup qualifying campaign. One that is crucial for their prospects in the second half of this World Cup qualification campaign. Join us in about 15 minutes to see if they can hold out through to the final whistle.
This live broadcast between Rwanda and the Super Eagles of Nigeria is brought to you by Bet Niger. Catch the boom.
Are you ready to launch? 100%. Launch! I think I put the wrong coordinates.
This season, the odds might just be in your favor. With a boom, everything changes. If only you can catch it.
People all over Nigeria are catching the boom. It seems to be making millionaires with supercharged odds, and we understand all of this to be caused by Bet Nigeria.
Let everyone catch the boom.
Statistical goal for Nigeria, and the Super Eagles are in the lead.
Nigeria's hunger for victory on the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup will be tested once again against Zimbabwe. Skills, grit, resilience, and world-class talent will be on display when the Super Eagles tackle the Warriors in another Group C showdown in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. The Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo is the venue. 3 massive points are up for grabs. It's Nigeria's Super Eagles against the Warriors of Zimbabwe on Tuesday, the 25th of March. Don't miss a bit. Tune in to Afro Sport for every minute of the action live from Uyo on the 25th of March. Afro Sport, your freedom of sport.
So these guys still call you Mama Dugu? Yes, now, because they know I always express love to them.
Mama do good, oh. Mama way good to us. She express love with flavors.
Keep expressing love with Indomie flavors.
Nigeria, a country of over 220 million people, is united by sports. It inspires us and helps us build champions on and off the field. From the streets to the global stage, Nigeria's talent shines bright. And behind every victory is the unwavering support for our athletes, coaches, and the entire sport ecosystem. Under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the National Sports Commission, in its bid to ensure the growth and development of our sports economy, has helped build over 4,000 projects across different events, including supporting the Nigeria Football Federation and the Super Eagles qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the Presidential Support Group. The Presidential Support Group says a special thank you to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his commitment to sports development, empowering the next generation of Nigerian champions. The National Sports Commission, creating a sports economy.
And so Victor Osimhen moves into second spot all-time on the Super Eagles goal-scoring list with those 2 goals in the first half, jumping past Segun Odegbami. They were joint second on 23 goals. Osimhen is now standalone second on 25. Well, that Rashidi Yekini's 37 goals looks like this young man might catch up with it. The 2 goals, the difference in what must be said is a roller coaster. First half, Super Eagles started well. Then they went into a bit of a lull before Osimhen settled the nerves with that late goal. Let me just tell you that this live broadcast is proudly brought to you by NNPC, Africa's largest energy economy, energy for today, energy for tomorrow, and also supported by our partners, Bet Niger, Catch the Boom. We thank you for supporting this broadcast. Gentlemen, the second goal settled the nerves because 1-0 up. For the first 15-20 minutes, Super Eagles looked in total control, and then after like 30 minutes, they went into a bit of a lull. It did look like Well, this is how it stands at the group at the moment. South Africa and Lesotho still goalless at halftime. Nigeria 2-0 up. And of course, Zimbabwe Benin was played last night. So, Whitey, this Super Eagles went into a bit of a lull from the 25th, 38th minute. And it did look like they were losing balls. They were not pressing as hard as they did in the first half. And we were already getting scared like, okay, let's hold this lead till halftime. And then Osimhen popped up with that wonderful second goal.
Well, to be honest with you, I think, in football of this nature, this would have been expected anyway, because we went out trying to score goals, at least early goals. So for me, I think maybe a little bit of a lack of small stamina towards the 25th, 27th, like you mentioned, and then we had a lackluster play a little bit until Osimhen got the second goal. So by and large, I think they're probably playing to instructions. You can see that they've been very, very well, conservative when those guys are attacking us. We don't go out and just play, look for loose balls. The point I'm making is that we've kept our shape, they've kept to the style of play, and then they're always expecting that something will pop up.
Great start for the Super Eagles in the 10th minute. What a delivery by Ademola Lookman. What a finish by Victor Osimhen at the far post.
Yes.
It was a wonderful set piece. And, Lookman is very good with set pieces. And Tuari, who gave us hell the last time we played here, I didn't see that coming, but Toyin, fantastic start by the Super Eagles.
I mean, this is what we've been missing since the World Cup qualifiers started. No Victor Osimhen. That's what we've been missing. Now that Osimhen is back, you've seen the difference. We talked about leadership. Look at what he's doing. Look at how he's charging the players. Look at how he's leading from the front. Look at how he's getting the goals. This is the leadership we've been talking about.
Absolutely
this is
superb delivery.
Excellent delivery, and there was somebody there to finish it. And Victor Osimhen, we've been missing this the entire qualifying series. And I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he's also getting the goals. And what a finish. Excellent. Apart from this, don't also forget that we've been very good with dead balls, crosses, corner kicks.
There was another incident where the captain nearly scored. 2 times. Then the goalkeeper made a fantastic save from Simon.
So there could have been daylight between the Super Eagles and Rwanda.
But then that period,
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen because the whole team.
You cannot have 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then be the same tempo.
You cannot play at that tempo
for
45 minutes. But the coaches will talk about the time when they are suffering, when they are when they are without the ball.
So
that's when you keep to your shape.
This now settles the nerves. The defender hesitated. He nipped in. And how about this for a finish?
It was a superb finish.
He just digged it over the goalkeeper. I thought
first-class finish.
At first look, I thought it was going wide, but what a goal!
That's why he's one of the best strikers in the world.
Of course he is.
He's top scorer in the Turkish league. He's getting goals right, left, and center. And I'm happy he's bringing it to the World Cup qualifiers.
You can also see that the defense line of the Rwandans, they know what's coming. They know what is coming to them. Anytime Osimhen gets the ball, it's always a shaky thing that they always do. I mean, can you imagine that?
This was
an assist from Chukwueze.
You didn't even expect that he would nip in and take that ball away from the defender, but he did. And the calmness, the composure to finish like that, I haven't taken the ball a long way from the center circle.
This number 17, he's been flirting with goals all day. He's been slashing crosses.
Yes, they've almost
looking like he will score an own goal, a couple of those goals. But this is what you want your top striker to be. And this is what we've missed since the World Cup qualifier started. And I'm happy. Osimhen is a fighter. He fights for every ball. He pushes. You see the spirit. You see the enthusiasm. You see the hunger in
what
him.
A finish.
And this is where
what an absolutely
that's why
classical finish.
I mean, you see smiles on our faces.
This
is what we are looking for.
2-0 can be a very funny sort of lead, because if you let one in, then you start panicking. So what should be the approach that we saw with Benin? What should be the approach?
This is where the coach comes in now. If there's a need for him to bring in 1 or 2 new players so that he can balance up the tension, the lack of energy 1 or 2 of these players will be lacking, and then he needs to make the right decision now. I'm not saying you must change, but when you're leading 2-0, like you said, anything can happen. So the coach must bring in his expertise now.
1-0.
It's dangerous.
1-0 was dangerous. 2-0 is a bit more comfortable.
It's tricky. It's tricky because...
but it's a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, coaches will always say, if the first goal doesn't come in, the second one won't come in. So if you want to prevent your 2-0 lead from going away, don't concede the first one.
Exactly.
So that's what we have to do.
So it is
ensure that we keep that balance.
They must keep the
But
balance.
there must also be the opportunity to kill the game off completely, get a third goal.
Keep pushing and keep getting the goals. The more they score, the more we demoralize them. And it helps us at the end of the day, because a situation where you end up with the same number of points is your goals.
Honestly speaking, I will make 1 or 2 changes as we're coming in now. There's been a lot of energy used. There's been a lot of,
wouldn't that be going into a defensive shell too early?
We can still keep the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Of course now. I'm just saying there must be some changes, so that it can then balance the team.
Yeah, for those who are tired.
Exactly. A little bit.
Nobody is playing like they're tired here.
Of course, nobody's playing like they're tired.
I would feel that well. Maybe the first 15 minutes to try and see whether I can get a third goal. If it doesn't happen, maybe some sensible changes. I'm thinking like maybe an Oyedika for and Iwobi to kind of settle.
That's what I mean. Some 1 or 2 changes must come in.
That must come in. But definitely the Super Eagles are in a very, very good position right now.
And the Rwandans don't look threatening that much. They hold on to the ball, they pass the ball within each other, but that's not going to result to a goal.
Who had the clear sight of goal,
and that's it. 1 or 2 chances, that's it.
Yeah. So we have to keep it tight at the back.
Keep the back line tight, keep your shape, and then keep to your tactics. Make 1 or 2 changes, and then we'll drag home 2-0.
So the coach has a call to make. Do I keep pushing forward to get goals, or do I do it with a lot of balance to ensure that I don't concede? That's what the coach has to do now. But we are definitely in a good position.
Definitely. Of course, in case you don't know, the other game in this group, South Africa are being held at home by Lesotho, goalless at the half as well. So if it ends like this, Super Eagles in a great position. Let's take a break. We're back after this.
Nigeria, a country of over 220 million people, is united by sports. It inspires us and helps us build champions on and off the field. From the streets to the global stage, Nigeria's talent shines bright. And behind every victory is the unwavering support for our athletes, coaches, and the entire sport ecosystem. Under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the National Sports Commission, in its bid to ensure the growth and development of our sports economy, has helped build over 4,000 projects across different events, including supporting the Nigeria Football Federation and the Super Eagles qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the Presidential Support Group. The Presidential Support Group says a special thank you to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his commitment to sports development, empowering the next generation of Nigerian champions. The National Sports Commission, creating a sports economy.
Are you ready to launch? 100%. Launch! I think I put the wrong coordinates.
This season, the odds might just be in your favor. With the boom, everything changes. If only you can catch it.
People all over Nigeria are catching the boom. It seems to be making millionaires with supercharged odds. And we understand all of this to be caused by Bet Nigeria.
Let everyone catch the boom.
This match between Rwanda and the Super Eagles of Nigeria is energy available for all.
Okay, so we're about to start the second half. The Super Eagles in a very, very good position. 2-0 up at the half. Hopefully, they will finish the job and get the 3 points. Gentlemen, we should expect 3 points. I'm not bothered about scoreline. 3 points? 3 points?
3 points for sure.
3 points for me. You know, I was even talking about play ugly and win. But
exactly.
There's a little slice to it. They are playing well and they are winning. So
this is the must win. So we are must winning.
Okay, we have to wait and see about that. So
and the top striker is complaining.
And the striker, but the Super Eagles look fresh and ready to go. We take you through the second half. We're back at the end, hopefully to celebrate a Super Eagles victory.
FIFA World Cup in Group C, Rwanda and Nigeria meeting As we head towards the halfway point of this campaign, the halfway point of this match, Nigeria in total command of the situation, 2-0 to the good courtesy of Victor Osimhen. A first half brace for Nigeria's number 9. The referee blows the whistle once again, and off we go for the second half. Just 11 minutes on the clock when Osimhen struck the first time, ball into the box from Ademola Lookman. A free kick volleyed home by the Galatasaray centre forward. Nicked in ahead of a defender and dinked it over Fiacre Ntwari in first half stoppage time to double the lead. He's now down on the ground, just outside the area, coming together with Rwanda captain Chiad Bizimana to be shielding the ball, but a little too aggressively, in the opinion of the referee. Tension simmering within seconds of the restart. Point being made by Osimhen. He can't lead with the forearm. Appears, I think, a yellow card has been produced for Bizimana. Not the start to the second half that Adel Amrouche would have wanted. Looked to be finishing the first half really strongly in the ascendancy, heading into first half stoppage time, only for Osimhen and Nigeria to pull the rug out from underneath them, leave them with the mountain to climb here in the second half. And now, with Lookman standing over the ball just outside the box, things could get worse before they get better. 3-man wall, numbers 2, 3 and 4. And number 22, 3 and 4 rather. Brazera, Yamagabu and Bizimana in the way. Lookman's attempt deflected, out for a corner. Looks threatening from set pieces throughout so far this evening. Now another, this time headed away at the near post, but picked up on the edge by Moses Simon. Got it shot away. Nowhere near threatening Ntwari on this occasion. It's really been the case in Ligue 1 for Moses Simon this season. Could end the season as the top assister of the French top flight, despite Nantes currently battling to stay in the division, as a yellow card is handed out, this time for a foul on Bizimana. Wilfred Ndidi clattering into his fellow number 4, and thus entering the book. I think a genuine mistake and immediate apology from the Leicester midfielder. Sahabo will lift it in. It's flicked on, had to be gathered up by Nwabali. Has done so. It's a show of intent there from Rwanda early in the second half, after a scare of their own inside the first minute of the second half. But yeah, it's back to Simon as Nantes look to survive. The winger has notched up 6 goals and 8 assists from the first 24 league games. And a string of top performances. Just one behind Ryan Cherki of Lyon at the top of the assist chart. He is now attracting interest from several of Europe's best clubs. The shot comes in, this time from Bright Osei Samuel. Right back bursting into the box, testing Ntwari. Might well have been heading for the bottom corner. So, yet another dead ball for Anamola Lookman to work his magic with. The outswinger was onto the head of Ndidi. No one behind him at the back stick to benefit. Bassi can only partially clear. It's picked up by Mugisha. Here he is again. It was he who produced Rwanda's first shot of the match. This one was blocked, but it landed kindly for Nyamagabu. Seems to have permanently switched to the left-hand side, Mugisha. Did so late in the first half. Picked up where he left off. Hakim Sahabo will take the corner. Born in Brussels, part of the Genk Standard Liège youth. It's a threatening corner in. The referee blows. There was a roar, mostly of hope from the home fans. Might be a point to the spot incoming, and instead it was a foul on Enwabali and a Nigeria free kick. Back on his feet now, quickly gets us back underway. Enwabali considers Manuel Neuer as his role model. Hasn't needed to do much sweeper keeping thus far in the match. Only 1 or 2 shots from range to test him. How will that change here? Ball finds its way through to Mugisha, cuts inside, does get his shot away. Just lacking a little power to truly trouble the Super Eagles keeper. But better from Rwanda. It was a real blow to concede so late in the first half after they'd finally grown into the game. And now, they're doing so once again. To survive a nervy couple of minutes early on in the second half, but looking to get themselves back to the ascendancy, make life a little less comfortable for Nigeria. They always have to be wary of Osimhen lurking, deceptively quick striker. Saw that as he nicked in for the second goal. Ball given away in midfield. will Rwanda be punished? Here comes Samuel Chukwueze. Lookman brilliantly guarding the ball, spinning away, winning another free kick in a dangerous position, drawing the foul from Bona Mugisha. Slightly heavy touch, but recovered brilliantly to beat Mugisha to the ball. Stade Tunisian midfielder just clipping the heel of Lookman. Mugisha, born on the turn of the millennium, 1st of January 2000, which makes him precisely 1 day younger than Calvin Bassey on the opposing team, born on the 31st of December 1999. Travelling fans in good spirits. Had to come a fair way to be here today, but so far have been rewarded. Lookman's free kick punched away by Ntwari. Come back again. It's lifted forwards. Lookman brings it down. Plenty of space just outside the 6-yard box. Was closed down before he could get his shot away by the recovering Thierry Manzi. Shot of Hakim Sahabo. For a second, appeared to be heading to defend this corner. Lookman with another in-swinger, headed away by Bizimana, and not out of the box. Helped on at the second time of asking. And then one back pretty quickly. There is a bit of Manuel Neuer-esque keeping from Anwar Bali, quickly out off his line. Shepherding that out for a goal kick. This time it is the end of the game for Sahabo. Youngest player on the pitch makes way for Kevin Muhire, much more experienced campaigner. Rayon Sports captain and their player of the season last campaign. Pretty much a straight swap in midfield. A little more attacking perhaps. Muhire is the hand of Adel Amrouche is forced. Have to try and get something out of this game. Not one they were aiming to come into in terms of damage limitation. How quickly the complexion of this group could change. Rwanda top after match day 4, 4 places ahead of their visitors today. But if they are to find themselves on the losing end of the result, suddenly they could easily be 3rd or 4th and just 1 point above the Super Eagles with 5 games still to play. This time they do stop a Nigeria attack and look to spark one of their own. Ball over the top for Innocent and Shuti. Did send the ball in in the general direction of Enobali's goal. Now the keeper will kill a few seconds and force a Rwanda player to expend a little energy. This time it's George Kwizera. Into the final half an hour. Nigeria still looking pretty comfortable as things stand. Free kick taken quickly. They are starting to get forward in numbers now, the home side. Mugisha cut inside, but then got his ball into the box, all wrong. Aina trying to bring it away down the left, gives it away. Iwobi will tidy up. Attempts the drop at the shoulder from Osimhen, doesn't come off either. Ndidi clearly catching Kevin Mahiri. Joined Leicester just after their extraordinary Premier League triumph, I should say, Wilfred Ndidi. Their 5,000 to 1 odds defying title, only one in the club's history. Calvin Bassey behind him in the defence was part of the Leicester Youth Academy during that run to the title. Unlike Bassey, indeed he was at the club to lift the FA Cup in 2021. Chukwueze sent it forwards, looking for Osimhen. Just been a little starved of service in the last 10 minutes or so. Momentum currently with Rwanda. Play switched over towards Mugisha. Say Samuel was there first. Former Foxes combine, and Bassey and Ndidi win the ball back. Nigeria more than happy to just slow down the tempo. Once they have the ball, they will have their 2-goal lead. Don't need to force the issue and stretch the game, but they get the opportunity of a third. They can turn on the afterburners in a second. That's what Lookman was looking to do there. Run into trouble ultimately. Osimhen back defending. Never afraid to do the dirty work. Centre forward. Nice quick turn from Mahiri was much appreciated by those inside the Amahoro Stadium. means Peace Stadium in Rwanda. The home side will have to go to war in this remaining half an hour if they are to get something from this match. Plenty of space for Chukwueze in the middle of the park. He's come inside from the right wing in this second half. And Moses Simon to create the space for the cross, but two defenders proving too much to get past. It will be, however, a corner. First change made by Eric Shell. Olaina. Oh, come off as well. Samuel Chukwueze. More traditional left back in Bruno Onyemechi. Will come on for Aina. One of the Premier League contingent makes way. Having an extraordinary season with Nottingham Forest. Olaina. Forest closing in on their first Champions League finish in decades, surpassing all expectations. Samuel Chukwueze's AC Milan, meanwhile, falling well short of expectations. Currently down in mid-table, 9th place in Serie A. Chukwueze, who ended a 14-month goal drought against Rwanda in November, leaves the pitch goalless on this occasion. Lookman's corner, straight into the gloves of Fiacre and Tuari. So a bit of a reshuffle with that double change. Moses Simon seemingly over to the right-hand side. Iwobi slightly more advanced now. Rafael Onyedika has brought on to short things up a touch. Steady midfielder. Plays for Club Brugge. It's his 15th appearance for the Super Eagles. One goal for his country came against Benin in June. Opener in that 2-1 loss to the Cheetahs. The number 4s clash again. Bizimana and Wilfred Ndidi. Bizimana said coming into this match they're in buoyant mood. Were unfazed by the quality of their opponent, but they're seeing up close just what Nigeria are capable of here. 2 moments of quality from Osimhen, and now just looking to kill the game off. Do appear to have something of a stranglehold on it. Forwards again by Iwobi. There's space here for Ademola Lookman. He'll cut inside, looks to get the shot away. Straight into the legs of Manzi. Mihire. Forced to play it back to Mugisha. Rwanda steadily working their way forwards again. Going to have to score sooner rather than later to apply the pressure. The problem is they can't afford to commit too many men forwards and leave this man too much space. This time, Osimhen's ball into the box was more easily dealt with. Finding some space here in between the lines. Mugisha onto Mihire, sliding in was Asai Samuel. Quickly back up and running. Kwizera, Bono Mugisha. Switched from left to right, struggling to find a way through. It's well-organised Nigerian backline. Historically been better known for their flamboyance further up the field, their brilliance in attack. This, perhaps, a new-look Nigeria under Eric Shell. Still though 20 minutes away from a clean sheet. Kevin Mihire looking to force the issue, at the very least forcing a corner. Break in play whilst Bright Asai Samuel is checked over. And solid as ever out right back. Not forced into too many uncomfortable positions. Picked up 11 yellow cards for Fenerbahce last season, Asai Samuel. Just one so far this term. He's cleaned up his act. And it's been squeaky clean across the first 73 minutes here. A few well-timed sliding tackles. One which perhaps left a mark on himself. Does appear to be okay to continue. We'll see if he is the player to depart with Maxime, or rather Al Hassan Yusuf, ready to come on. Corner taken short and lifted in. No real threat though on the delivery from Claude Niomagabo. That's more threatening though. Options in the middle. Can he pick the right one? He doesn't pick one at all. He's caught in two minds there. Gilbert Mugisha. Look to the heavens. Only had himself to blame. Should have done better there. Most clear-cut opportunities there, which Rwanda have created in an hour and a quarter. Calmly headed back to his keeper by William Troost-Ekong. Had an interesting career path, Statistical. Youth at Fulham and Tottenham in England, and then moving on to Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, Turkey, Italy, Greece, Saudi Arabia now with Al Khaloud. Knocked on to Osimhen. Advantage played by the referee. Osimhen on a hat-trick. Couldn't take the advantage. Rare swing and a miss for the number 9. Grabbed a hat-trick a week ago today for Galatasaray, and a 4-0 win against Antalyaspor. Has in fact managed 6 goals in 3 games in March in the Super League. But that will be his final chance for this evening. Another 2. Make that 8 in March for club and country. Here the first, volleying home. Lookman's delivery. Cannot leave Victor Osimhen that much space in the box. He will be punished. Rwanda were. And then, bit of opportunism. Just nicking in ahead of Angie Mutsinzi. And then clinical, as you like, to dink over Ntwari. Job done. He'll watch the final 15 from the sidelines. On in his place, Al Hassan Yusuf. Also, Tolu Arakadare, I believe, having replaced Asai Samuel, who's still limping. No need to take any risks. And another game to play in a few days' time. And we'll see if they can nurse him back to full fitness in time for that one. But if not, Aina and Onyemaechi, perfectly good fullback pairing. Rwanda certainly haven't given up yet, but time is running out. It's a first involvement. The big centre forward, Tolu Arakadare. Lookman knocks it on. It was just beyond the centre forward. Plays his club football for Genk. Has notched up 17 in 30 appearances this season. Just another in the abundance of Nigerians who are scoring for fun around the world over the last 12 months or so. Had a different aerial threat as well to the one posed by Osimhen. Certainly can score a header, but doesn't quite have the physical presence of Arakadare. It's 1.97 meters tall, or 6'6" for those of you working in Imperial. this. A first appearance for the Super Eagles. Scored on his debut for Genk. Can Al-Qadari do the same for his country? Got 10 minutes left. Full of running. Nigeria will steadily work it forwards. Simon. Not been quite as involved since switching to the right-hand side. Still Victor Boniface on the bench, precisely 1 month younger than Al-Qadari. With just one substitution remaining, see if he gets a few minutes under his belt here. Lookman thought he was in for a second before hearing the referee's whistle. Another double change incoming for Adel Amrouche and his Rwanda side. Off comes Innocent Nshuti and George Kwizera. In their place, Yves Habimana and Jean Bosco Ruboneka. And Nshuti, we disappointed. Largely isolated figure over the 80 minutes. 3 goals in 6 AFCON qualifiers, including the winner against Nigeria in that 2-1 victory. And scored 1 in this campaign as well against South Africa late in 2023. But chances few and far between here. Will either Ruboneka or Habimana have any more joy? The latter, the man to replace Nshuti at the top of the Rwandan tree. He'll immediately get the opportunity from a free kick. Kevin Muhere to take. Fails to beat the first man. Headed away by Troost-Ekong. Muhere straight on to Ruboneka. It's given away. Al-Qadari slowing things down. Lookman does well to keep it in. On Yumechi. Iwobi exchanges passes with Onyedika. Simon with some slightly heavy looking legs, beats into the ball by Neo Mugabu and helping him on his way. Produced a free kick for Rwanda, but he still can't do anything with it, and now into most likely the final 10 minutes, even including stoppage time. Rwanda have to score now if they want to stand a chance of taking anything away from this match day 5 fixture. They have won it in the Nigeria half, but it's quickly won back by Wilfred Ndidi. Two sides largely cancelling each other out at the moment. There haven't been many chances the last 10 or 15 minutes. That's a lovely ball forwards from Iwobi. Sends Al-Qadari out left. And once again, Nigeria just slow things down. Al-Qadari would love a debut goal, clearly following orders. well-being of their 2-goal lead far more important. Eric Schell wants to ensure they pick up their first victory of this World Cup qualification campaign. Extraordinary to think he failed to do so in the first 4 attempts. Lovely flick from Ndidi over to Onyedika. Lookman beats into the ball. That was in fact Ndidi well forwards there. Omborenga next for options, finds a willing runner. Still just too many white shirts between the ball and the goal. Patiently passing the ball around, but there's always eventually one which goes astray. That was it on this occasion. And possession back to the away side. Then take their time in moving it steadily up the pitch. Experienced hands when it comes to this stage. Nigeria have played in 6 World Cups, reaching the knockout stages in half of those. It's a round of 16 twice in a row, and their first 2 attempts, US 94 and France 98, impressively topped the group on both occasions. In 94, a group containing Maradona's Argentina, no less. Great Argentine actually played his final ever World Cup game against Nigeria. They were agonizingly knocked out by the divine ponytail of Roberto Baggio, who equalised in the 88th minute and then scored a penalty in extra time. Failed to qualify for the first time in 16 years in the Qatar World Cup, losing to Ghana on the away goals rule after drawing 0-0 at away and 1-1 at home. Now up against it here, the flag has gone up and the roar of the home crowd will soon be dampened. Yves Habimana did put the ball into the net, but clearly from an offside position. Unintended pass. Couldn't really get out the way of it, even if he had done so. Wouldn't have threatened Nwabali. Shot from Mahire. A brilliant pass if the offside rule was a little different. Philip, at least, for Rwanda. Feel good moment of putting the ball in the back of the net. Would have made for a fascinating final few minutes. Still could. They can very quickly score one in the next few seconds, but that has gone out for a Nigeria throw. We are now into the 90th minute. Alex Iwobi has entered the book for a cynical kick out at Bizimana. Rather unnecessary in truth, taking one for the team, but racking up a yellow, moving closer to a suspension. Mahiri brings it forwards. Nice change of pace. Here's Gilbert Mugisha into the middle. The attempted back heel would have been brilliant. Great improvisation from Habimana, who's revitalized this front line for Rwanda. 5 minutes added on. Stranger things have happened in football. Mentioned Manchester City early on. They, of course, famously turned round a game to win their first Premier League title in stoppage time. Rwanda need two to simply grab a point here. Rwanda never qualified for the World Cup, winning 10, drawing 11, losing 27. Their 48 games to date, and it'll be number 50 in a few days' time. And as Mahiri's shot deflects wide, even with the corner, it'll take a miracle here for them to remain at the top of Group C come the end of match day 5. They will have to go again on match day 6. Mahiri delivers the corner he won. It's headed away to at least temporary safety. Neither Mahiri nor Omborenga could keep that one in. And that surely will be that now, with less than 3 minutes to play. South Africa have secured a 2-0 win against Lesotho. That will move them to the top of Group C. Another yellow card handed out, this time to the debutants. Tolu Arakadare not marking his debut with a goal, but instead a yellow. Little harsh, but referee with the best view in the house. Two goals in 4 minutes on the hour mark for South Africa. Did the job. Moves them on to 10 points. Above Benin, Rwanda here will drop to 3rd. Stuck on their 7 points, which was good enough for top of the table heading into this one. Nigeria suddenly will be just a single point and a single place back in 4th. And we'll know they can move at least into the potential playoff spot of 2nd with a win when they take on Lesotho. Or in fact, sorry, taking on Zimbabwe in 4 days' time. It is Rwanda welcoming Lesotho to this stadium. And just 2 points covering those 3 teams. All to play for in Group C. Not all to play for in the final 30 seconds here. Nigeria will perhaps look to apply the icing to the cake. A free kick just outside the Rwanda area. Eric Schell watching on. They stick to the game plan, keep the ball, play down the final few seconds with their 2-goal lead and their clean sheet intact. No final whistle just yet. Surely not far away. 95 minutes have elapsed. For now, we continue on. Chance of consolation for Rwanda. It's been a frustrating evening's work. Never been able to find a way through. This resilient Super Eagles backline. And there is the final whistle. Nigeria 2-0 winners. Both goals coming from that man. Victor Osimhen strikes again. His first game in this World Cup qualifying campaign. Immediately 2 goals to his name. Final score in Kigali. Rwanda 0, Nigeria 2. The Super Eagles move within 1 point of the team they beat on the night. Now respectively 3rd and 4th in Group C.
A little spark, a moment of chaos, a fatal choice. It feels like a blessing. Free fuel, answered prayers, but in every drop lurks disaster. From Jesse to Onitsha, Lagos to Suleja. Too many lives lost, too many dreams erased. Fuel is not your salvation. It's a ticking time bomb. One spark, one wrong move, and everyone burns. Your life matters. Stay away from overturned tankers. Run away. Call for help. Save a life. Together, let's stop this tragedy.
So come on, let's go. Energy for today, energy for tomorrow.
This match between Rwanda and the Super Eagles of Nigeria was brought to you by NNPC, Africa's largest energy company.
Are you ready to launch?
100%.
Launch!
I think I put the wrong coordinates.
This season, the odds might just be in your favor. With a boom, everything changes. If only you can catch it.
People all over Nigeria are catching the boom. It seems to be making millionaires with supercharged odds. And we understand all of this to be caused by Bet Nigeria.
Let everyone catch the boom.
So this guy still call you Mama Dugu? Yes, now, because they know I always express love to them.
Mama do good, oh. Mama way good to us. She express love with flavors.
Keep expressing love with Indomie flavor.
Nigeria, a country of over 220 million people, is united by sports. It inspires us and helps us build champions on and off the field. From the streets, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the National Sports Commission, in its bid to ensure the growth and development of our sports economy, has helped build over 4,000 projects across different events, including supporting the Nigeria Football Federation and the Super Eagles qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the Presidential Support Group. The Presidential Support Group says a special thank you to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. for his commitment to sports development, empowering the next generation of Nigerian champions. The National Sports Commission, creating a sports economy.
Well, job done by the Super Eagles of Nigeria, 2-0 in the first half, and they held on to that composed performance, great composure, and, well, maybe it's too early to say the Super Eagles are right back in contention, but they've done what they needed to do today, and they've gotten the result. Gentlemen, Tony and Whitey, 2-0 at the first half, they held on. Whitey was sure there was no way these guys were going to score. There was no way. Whitey was so sure that...
You can see from their tactics. They can always hold on to the ball. They can pass the ball. Short triangle passes. But at the end of it all, what do they do with the ball? Nothing. It doesn't go anywhere.
Well, it's better for us that way.
If that's what we're praying for.
So interesting result from the other game. South Africa defeated Lesotho by 2-0. So South Africa have moved to the top of this Group C. They are now on 10 points. So we'll get to all the results in a bit. Tony, how do you wrap up the Nigerian performance today?
Yeah, you know, I was expecting a result, but today I got more than a result. I got a good result and I got a good performance. The boys were running, the boys were moving, you know, playing for each other. Very professional in containing the Rwandans in the second half, limiting them to no opportunities, apart from that one that they had in the first half through Mugisha. And then we had, you know, chances. It was a very professional performance in the second half. On the whole, Osimhen's goal and the goals that we missed could have been, you know, 4-0. But the most important thing for us is that our World Cup campaign is still on track. That's very important for me. Still on track.
Very important.
So this is something that we can build up on.
Yeah, still 4 points off the pace, 5 games to go. The result, like I told you, Lesotho were beaten by South Africa away. South Africa won that game by 2-0. So these are the results from match day 5 from Group C. Excuse me. Last night, Zimbabwe held Republic of Benin to a 2-2 draw. Nigeria just defeated Rwanda 2-0, and South Africa just defeated Lesotho at home 2-0. So this is how it has shaped up. We'll get to the table. It has shaped up nicely.
2-2 is common to all those results. 2-2. Either you're winning 2-0 or you're playing a 2-0 draw.
Very interesting. I think his tactics actually work for him, because I have not seen any of our coaches play Osimhen, Lukman.
So Nigeria's moved up one place to 4th now. Rwanda still in 3rd place. So this is how it is on the table. South Africa leading on 10 points, Benin on 8, Rwanda on 7, Nigeria on 6, Lesotho on 5, Zimbabwe on 3. The good thing is that the next round of matches, Nigeria home to Zimbabwe, the top 2 play each other. Benin hosts South Africa and Cote d'Ivoire, and of course, definitely both teams or one team would draw points. But the way it's shaping up, you will hope for a draw or a Benin win. Because South Africa on 10 points, they go to 13. You have to slow them down. But don't let's write Zimbabwe off. We have to do our job on Tuesday.
That's what we said.
Yeah.
Game at a time. Whatever it is, make sure you play one game at a time and get your result.
That's it.
Once you get the result, we're moving on.
That's it. I think you have raised a very vital point. All the good job we've done today can be undone if we take Zimbabwe for granted, and then we don't win the game.
Exactly.
So for the World Cup qualifiers, our games are must win. All those games are must win. So with the same attitude with which we played against Rwanda today, it's the same attitude we must use for every game that we have left in the World Cup campaign.
So this is first win for Nigeria. Would you believe it? In our World Cup qualifiers. Match day 5, first win.
Better late than never.
1-1 against Lesotho at home. 1-1 away to Zimbabwe. 1-1 at home to South Africa. Then that terrible result. Benin came from 1 down to defeat Nigeria 2-1, and that was what jeopardized our chances. But I think this result today, Nigeria 2, Rwanda 0, in Kigali has settled down. And it's the first time we are scoring more than 1 goal in this qualifier.
Of course, you also said it earlier too. Osimhen has never played any of those games.
Of those games,
and Ekong as well. Those are 2.
How do you wrap up the? What are your thoughts on the coach?
Well, again, like I said, I think his tactics worked. For him to have combined Moses, Chikwueze, Lookman, Osimhen, and Iwobi.
He had a very attack
minded. He must have studied the game, how the boys play, and then of course see that they can play together, and they actually work for him today. So I think he should.
Well, we can only do what we need to do, win our games, and hope the other results favor us. One result I think favored us in this. Look at the celebration at the end of the game. Osimhen, look at the coach and Osimhen. You know, they're fired up. It shows that at times a lot of people feel the players don't care.
And Wambali says thank you to God.
Definitely, it does look like they care because this was a crucial game.
We said
any drop points today would have completely might have proved calamitous to our chances.
Exactly. This is the first time we're actually keeping a clean sheet in this World Cup campaign. So that's a good thing to build on. If you keep clean sheets, you don't lose games. But if you score goals and score a lot of them, you win games. So this is a good start for us. And we have to build on this. As we said earlier on, all of this good job can be undone with one careless moment in the next game. So we keep our focus, we keep our concentration levels, and we go for the next game on Tuesday. That's the focus now. This game is done and dusted. Forget about it. The most important game now is Zimbabwe on Tuesday.
I agree with you.
All right. So I think on that note, that's where we end it. I want to thank our guests for today, YD Akoni, former Super Eagles International, and of course, former Super Eagles Media Officer, Tony Ibitoye. Thank you guys for coming through. We'd like to thank our supporters for this, our sponsors, Bet Niger, for coming through on this. Catch the Boom and match also brought to you by NNPC, Africa's largest energy economy. Energy for today, energy for tomorrow. We thank you for joining us. We'll be back with you next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. for the home game in Uyo between Nigeria and Zimbabwe. Hopefully, it will be another positive result for the Super Eagles on the road to 2026 World Cup. It looks like the Eagles are back on track. Long may it continue. My name is Dick Giomoto, and we'll thank you for your time tonight. Have a great evening.